Hello from downtown Toronto, where fans are understandably feeling a little stunned, a little dejected, though not defeated. That's because even though the Raps lost tonight, they, unlike the Warriors, still have two chances to take the title. Still, for many, not winning at home, well, it stings, especially after that incredible late surge by Toronto.
Lowry for the win! And the Toronto Raptors.
And it all came down in the end to 1 point. The Raptors denied their first crown by a single point. But to the Golden State Warriors, that single point means everything. It means survival, especially after they lost this man, even before halftime. Kevin Durant was a huge loss, especially felt near the end when the Raptors seemed to be everywhere and unstoppable. But the series now goes back to Oakland. David Common was in Jurassic Park all night and has just followed the crowd out to Front Street. David, boy, that was a real roller coaster ride. And in the end, it just came off the tracks for the Raptors.
Yeah, it certainly did, Andrew. 1 point. 1 point, we could be having a very different kind of discussion right now. You know, the crowds that are filtering out of Jurassic Park, which is really just down the block from me here, heading home, heading north, could have been swelling these streets at this point. But you know what? It's not over yet. There's still 2 more chances. As people keep saying to me here, 6 in 6. 4-1-6, you know, Toronto in game 6. Yes, it will be a road game, but that's all right. People saying we'll take the fight to them. Not unlike what happened with the Blue Jays all those years ago when it was an away game. So some people are making the connection. Still a lot of excitement out here on the streets, but boy, oh boy, when we were in Jurassic Park, in there with hundreds, thousands of people, many of whom had, you know, waited a very long time to get in line, to get inside, dealt with all the rain coming in. A bit of disappointment. But you know what? It's not all done. Look at these guys here. They're having a good time tonight, and they'll be back for game 6.
And you have to admit, 6 and 6 has a better ring to it than Raps and 5. The Raps and 5 that I've been hearing all day long. David Common, thank you so much. Let's look forward. The battle continues now, right? This time back in Golden State's turf. The Raptors will need intensity, they'll need cunning, they'll need Kyle Lowry. Here's a closer look at the Raptors' longest serving player from Devin Harou.
How does it feel to be an icon all over Canada, kids?
I'm not that's a crazy question. I ain't never been asked that one.
Kyle Lowry was lost for words, a rare moment.
I was once a kid. I was once in your shoes. And to be able to know kids one day will want to be like me, I hold myself to a super high standard.
A thoughtful answer from a player who has been on the receiving end of criticism his entire career.
Here is Lowry on the deck, through 2. Lowry put it up, it's blocked by...
Often due to his lackluster playoff performances. Gritty, tough, and unrelenting on the court.
Here's Kyle.
Lowry has always played with a chip on his shoulder.
This is what you're looking for from him. Another charge taken by Lowry.
Standing tall in the way of oncoming players.
Now Kyle.
For 7 seasons, a Raptors leader, often in the background. Now getting the credit those around him felt he's always deserved.
There's something about that guy that I just believe in. You know, it's incredible.
Kyle Lowry is the best Raptor of all time based on what he's done, the success of the team, his longevity, and his commitment. He's the guy.
The guy fans in this city have come to love.
I'm just happy to see him now, you know, be able to make it to the finals, finally.
Finally, indeed, a basketballer from North Philly, raised by a single mother, now on the sport's biggest stage.
What my mom had to go through, and my grandmama had to go through, feeding myself, my brother, my cousin, my little cousins, my other little cousins, you know, going to work, getting up at 5 in the morning, that's pressure to me. And just the willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that your kid will see better than what you've ever seen.
Now with 2 sons of his own, perspective and gratitude, with so much on the line. Devin Harou, CBC News, Toronto.
So as the team prepares to go back to Oakland for Game 6, let's get a little analysis. Greg Ross has been following the team throughout their whole championship run. He joins me now courtside. Greg, what do they need to do on Thursday night?
Well, you're breaking up a little bit on me, but I'll give you a little analysis about this game. Let's talk about just how exciting it was that Kevin Durant was back in the lineup. I think a lot of Raptor fans were very nervous about the fact that the Golden State Warriors All-Star was back and starting in this game. And what a start it was for KD. I mean, he looked fantastic early on in this game. He finished with 11 points and three three-pointers. I mean, he was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. That had a lot of people very, very worried in this arena. And then there was this incredible moment when Kevin Durant, he was just down on the other end of the court and he went down and you could see that he was in pain. There was a quick cheer here in the arena. Some people cheering the fact that he was injured, but quickly Serge Ibaka jumped off the bench here. Fred VanVleet jumped off the bench beside me here and kind of calmed the crowd down. They said, hey, that's not what we're all about here in this country, in this city. And the fans did calm down. In fact, everybody got up on their feet. They gave Kevin Durant a standing ovation as he left the court under help. He couldn't walk off on his own. And then they started chanting, KD, KD. It was actually a very classy moment in the end for the fans here at Scotiabank Arena to treat an opposing star the way they did after he left the court injured. And it looked for a little while like the Golden State Warriors might be in big trouble. They did manage to break out to a 14-point lead at one point in this game, but the Raptors battled back. And then there was that fourth quarter, a fourth quarter that looked as if Kawhi Leonard was just going to take over this game. He was scoring at will. He was rebounding at will. And he had the fans here in Scotiabank Arena on their feet. But it was a 9-0 run in the end for the Golden State Warriors where they took the lead and they wouldn't look back. They managed to hang on with a very slim 1-point victory. 106-105 was the final score in this game. And the Raptors did have the ball in their hand in the dying seconds. Just down at the other end of the court, Kyle Lowry with a chance for a buzzer beater like we saw Kawhi Leonard hit in Game 7 against Philadelphia, but he came up short. And that's why this series is now headed back to Oakland for Game 6 with the Raptors leading 3-2.
Right, and Greg, you think back to the last few games of this series and how it panned out. The Toronto Raptors, I mean, the players exhibited such a stoicism, right? Such a professionalism. Maybe that was easier when they were winning. How do they turn around the ship now that they've lost?
I think we see the same thing in losing as well, and that's the Kawhi Leonard effect. It really is. Kawhi Leonard has had that calming effect on the Raptors locker room. Even watching today in the game when they hit big shots, there weren't big celebrations. They're buying into this Kawhi Leonard plan. And you know what? You're not going to win every game, but you have to come back and be ready to play in the next game. And that next game is coming up in a couple of nights in Oakland, and the Raptors need to be ready. They don't want to allow the Warriors to even this series up and send it back here for Game 7, a game where anything can happen.
No doubt. Greg Ross, courtside at Scotiabank Arena. Thanks so much. Good to talk to you. Okay, I want to take things back to Joanna Remiliotis at Yonge Square, at the heart of Toronto's downtown. Joanna, can you explain? I can see a lot of folks congregating behind you. What are you seeing?
Well, just a second ago, Andrew, before we came live to you, a guy showed up with a microphone, and now he's creating a song that everybody just started rushing into the middle of the intersection to kind of dance, celebrate. The mood is very celebratory. They didn't win, but there's the optimism. Oh, there you go. The music just went down. But it's coming back up. It's almost as if they had the fireworks ready for a win. Even though they didn't win, they went off, and nobody wants to go home. They had all gathered hoping that this was going to be it. And even though that didn't happen, people aren't ready to just end the shared experience just yet, so they're hanging out. And as you can hear, the music's going up, people are gathering in the intersection, they're dancing, they're singing along. It's a pretty chill crowd in that respect, and the police told us earlier that, you know, they're experienced at crowd management, crowd dynamics, and they didn't get a sense that this crowd would turn, but they're on the ready in case it does. So there are dozens of police officers. You can't see them now because we're focusing on the party scene, but behind behind our cameraman, there are dozens of officers just watching, just keeping a very watchful eye. And the intersection of Yonge and Dundas has basically been blocked off. There are police cruisers, blocks that way. There's a city bus that way. They don't want cars coming through here. Accidents could happen very easily, they say. But right now they're hanging back, very relaxed. And as they said, though, things could turn. But it doesn't seem like this is a crowd that's going to be angry. There's still hope, right? So this is not an angry crowd. This is an optimistic one. So Andrew, I'll throw back to you before I lose you again. It's getting noisier by the second.
Okay. Yeah, very nice to get that reality check on the ground. Joanna Remiliotis, thanks so much. So we are going to have lots more Raptors coverage ahead in the hour. Of course, we've said it before, we'll say it again, Ian, there's still a Game 6 to look forward to, but you've also got your eye on the rest of the top stories today.
That's true, Andrew, and let's start in Hong Kong, which is facing its most serious political crisis since the handover more than 2 decades ago. Protesters there clogging the streets in a show of defiance against a new law that could force anyone to be sent to mainland China if they're accused of a crime by Beijing. The bill has many worried that China is increasingly gaining control over the semi-autonomous city, which is also home to one of the largest Canadian communities outside of Canada. So all eyes are now on what the government there will do next. And our Asia correspondent, Sasha Petrusik, is in Hong Kong.
It's morning here in Hong Kong, and the territory is bracing for a fresh wave of protests starting as early as tonight. But that doesn't seem to be swaying a government unmoved by this weekend's massive turnout. It was the biggest protest Hong Kong has seen in decades. 1 million people on the streets, say organizers, jamming the city core until late into the night and reinvigorating a pro-democracy movement sidelined by Beijing.
There's no question of us ignoring views expressed in society. But Hong Kong has to move on.
But Hong Kong's Chinese-backed leader remains defiant, saying the bill will be law by July.
Nobody wants Hong Kong to be a fugitive offenders' haven.
Carrie Lam points to the protests as a sign that rights and freedoms are not under threat in Hong Kong. On the streets, the anxiety grows. 1 in 7 showed up this weekend, concerned over China's rising influence in the former British colony. With its own laws and system of government and a history of democratic rights Beijing promised to respect. Instead, it's been steadily squeezing them.
Please, could you just shelve it and give Hong Kong some breathing space for the time being? Let's all have a rethink.
A rethink is something Ottawa has also been asking for, worried that the 300,000 Canadians living and working here, even people who visit, would be at risk if the legislation passes.
We have indeed raised very serious concerns with the government of Hong Kong regarding these proposed changes.
Here in Hong Kong, though, the government has shown no signs of backing down, and neither have the protesters, buoyed by the support they've received from abroad and by the numbers they've drawn here at home. The territory's legislature is due to start debating the controversial bill again within 24 hours against a backdrop of continuing demonstrations. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Hong Kong.
With Theresa May making her Brexit departure, the push is on to choose the next Conservative leader who would become Prime Minister. There's a long list of contenders. At the top, a man with a history of political gaffes, another embroiled in controversy over his past use of cocaine. The CBC's Thomas Dagla now with Who's in Play.
I invited all of you here today.
And they're off.
Michael, go!
One after the other, after the other. Tories each making their pitch to be Britain's next Prime Minister.
We need to deliver on our central promise, Brexit.
My Brexit delivery plan is the only credible plan.
Without Brexit, there will be no Conservative government.
Yes, that EU breakup is the main issue up for debate in one crowded leadership race.
And lastly, Rory Stewart.
Conservative MPs gathered today to hear the long list of candidates.
That means that there are 10 valid nominations.
Among them, there's only one household name like him.
Good morning. Are you confident? Thank you so much for your leadership.
Boris Johnson, Brexiteer, once Foreign Secretary and Mayor of London, the leading candidate and the least chatty.
It won't really matter what he says between now and the time that the decision's made in a few weeks. And that's why Boris Johnson hasn't been very public so far in what he's been saying. He knows that everyone knows what he stands for.
Gone is the moppy hair and the goofy antics, with Johnson hoping to steer clear of the kind of scandal that could derail Michael Gove's campaign, forced to admit he did cocaine 2 decades ago.
You should reflect on your mistake, and I have.
Though they'll face the same challenges as Theresa May, all candidates are promising a new approach to Brexit. The future of the country hinges on the decision of one party.
Conservative MPs will whittle the candidates from 10 down to 2. Then in July, it'll be up to all Tory party members to decide who'll lead Britain through Brexit and beyond. Thomas Dagg, CBC News, London.
We are live on the Pacific edition of The National, and here are some of the other stories we're following, including the Prime Minister formally announcing plans for a countrywide ban on single-use plastics.
We recognize that plastics isn't just a Canadian problem, it's a global problem.
As we reported last night, details still being worked out, but items like plastic bags and straws are likely to be on the list, and the ban could take effect as early as 2021. Ottawa says Canadians throw away more than 34 million plastic bags every day. A panicked evacuation in New York City after a helicopter crash. It landed on a roof. The chopper burst into flames with smoke rising from the office building. The force of the impact shook the skyscraper, and there was a rush to evacuate through the stairwells.
It was very scary that everybody had to run out. They thought it was like 9/11.
The pilot was the only person on board and was killed on impact. Not clear what led to the crash. Indonesian officials bracing for more eruptions from an active volcano on the island of Sumatra. Mount Sinabung erupted yesterday, sending volcanic ash into the sky. A number of aftershocks were also recorded. There were no reports of injuries, but a thick layer of ash fell over a nearby community. A member of the Order of Canada has been found guilty of child sexual assault in Nepal. Peter Dalgleish was a longtime aid worker with the UN and other groups helping children. Dalgleish has denied the charges since they were laid last year. And as Nala Ayad tells us, his lawyer calls today's verdict a miscarriage of justice.
When it came to the world's war-ravaged, street-worn or hungry children, he was a passionate advocate.
This war has no good guys, only victims. The heroes are their kids who've survived in the face of enormous obstacles.
As a former UN aid worker, later the founder of his own charity, Peter Dalgleish traveled the world's hotspots in the name of helping children, winning awards and named to the Order of Canada. So his arrest in Nepal last year stunned the humanitarian community. And those who know him wouldn't believe a loving father so devoted to helping other children could ever hurt any of them.
It's so not Peter. It's so against his values, everything. I can't picture it. I really can't picture it. Peter has a good value system.
But he was charged with child sexual assault. That's him in the blue hat arriving at a Nepalese court in April. And today, the court convicted him. In an interview with CBC's The Fifth Estate, his lawyer said the trial was a gross miscarriage of justice.
The authorities do not allow Mr. Dalgleish to meet with his Nepali counsel, his lawyer, alone at all. So there's been no real access to counsel.
Police had accused Dalgleish of assaulting 2 boys at his home outside Kathmandu. His lawyers accused police of interfering with and bribing the boys and other potential witnesses. In the background at the time, a global slew of abuse allegations against aid workers. And in Nepal, authorities had arrested several foreigners in an attempt to deal with a rampant child abuse problem. But Dalgleish's lawyer insists his client is innocent.
He wasn't someone who was a tourist there. He had spent years there doing humanitarian work. He wasn't visiting, he wasn't in some seedy hotel luring children. He lived there.
Dalgleish could be handed a sentence of at least 10 years. His lawyers plan to appeal. Nala Ayad, CBC News, London.
Next on The National, a personal plea from Russians to Canada. They say they're choking on smoke, covered in coal dust. Now they're begging to come here as environmental refugees. That's still ahead.
And we are in downtown Toronto tonight, just steps from Jurassic Park. Not the result fans wanted, but take a look at this moment of Canadian pride at the start of the game.
A small town in Siberia is so polluted by coal mining, residents say it's ruining their lives. So they're turning to Canada for help. Chris Brown looks at what they're facing.
The appeal from residents of a Siberian town is personal and extraordinary. Honorable Justin Trudeau, we appeal to you to grant refugee status to the citizens of Arkhizalevsk. They say they're victims of barbaric coal mining and an uncaring government. This video taken last week purports to show open pit mines without any fences, just meters from homes, smoking and choking people. All of this smoke is going straight to my house, says resident Mikhail Sokolov. Coal can spontaneously combust when exposed to oxygen, so workers have been trying to cool things down by dumping clay and using hoses, but it hasn't been working. We chose Canada, said another woman, because it's similar to our Siberia with cold and snow. We'll work hard and can become useful to Canada. In winter, if anything, conditions are worse. Social media videos showed these scenes from February with the region blanketed by a thick coat of coal dust. You think you're letting your children go play in the fresh air and snow, said this woman to Russian TV, and then you wonder what will happen if they breathe it in. Local officials blamed that incident on faulty equipment at a nearby processing plant, but residents say those discharges happen all the time. Finally, in an extremely rare personal attack on Vladimir Putin himself, the residents accused Russia's president of turning their communities into gas chambers, before one by one going before the camera and signing off their statement with their names. However impassioned their plea, Canadian law makes it difficult to use pollution as a claim to come to Canada as a refugee. Advocates we talked to said one obvious issue is that Russia is a very large country and there are other places they could go before coming to Canada. Chris Brown, CBC News, Moscow.
And we asked Canada's Minister of Immigration about environmental refugee claimants today. He said Canada empathizes with people facing difficulties around the world, but there are clear rules on who qualifies as a refugee.
Our current Immigration Refugee Protection Act definitions around refugees is based on the Geneva Conventions. It's about persecution based on the grounds that are listed. It doesn't encapsulate this current iteration.
And among those grounds listed, race, religion, nationality, and membership in a particular social group or political opinion.
And up next on The National, we will be back with more on our top story.
And credit Serge Ibaka. There's the play right away. He knew it. You will not see a better sight than we just witnessed.
Without a doubt, this was something Raptors fans hoped would turn Game 5 around. Kevin Durant leaving the court before halftime. He did not return, but the Warriors battled on without him to eventually win. Still, Toronto fans showed their respect for Durant's efforts, giving him a standing O as he left this game. The National will be right back after the break.
Lowry for the win.
And with that, Toronto basketball fans watched their victory party slip through their fingers. The Raptors' first ever NBA championship celebration will have to wait a little longer. After the game, Kyle Lowry weighed in on that incredibly close defeat.
going up 6, building going wild, you guys making that comeback, at all did it creep in your mind, we're going to do this, we're going to finish this?
No, we stayed in the moment. They came back and made 3 straight threes. They played some good defense down the stretch. We just, we missed some shots, and they did what they were supposed to do. I think the fact that Steph and Clay were able to get off 14 and 13 threes is too many. They got off way too many threes. I mean, for guys like them, they're going to make. You give them that many threes, they're going to make them. They're going to make some. So we let them get too many threes off. Thank you.
Okay, now CBC Sports reporter Devin Haru watched it all go down from inside Scotiabank Arena. He joins us now courtside. Devin, you could hear how he was reacting, how subdued, dismayed Kyle Lowry sounded there. This is heartbreaking for the team.
Yeah, Andrew, I think what we need to talk about here is obviously this is devastating and heartbreaking for these fans who were all piled in here and Jurassic Parks across the country. Perhaps you hear disappointment in Kyle Lowry's voice, but this poise this team has shown throughout this entire playoff run is something everyone continues to point to. The resilience of this team. Nobody said this was going to be easy. In fact, it was interesting to listen to Raptors coach Nick Nurse just a short time ago, just before Kyle Lowry, say, hey, look, we knew this wasn't going to be easy. We knew this wasn't going to be a quick series. And so, look, if you would have told us that we would have been up 3-2, 5 games into this series with a chance to win an NBA championship, we would have taken that. So the whole motto, the whole MO for this team throughout the entire playoffs has been calm, poise, take care of business. They're not about to panic. Yes, they're going back to Oracle Arena, a place that teams have a difficult time winning at this point of the season, but they're returning from Oakland having stole 2 games inside those hallowed grounds. So now we go back to Oakland, Andrew. Yes, heartbreak for a fan base that was hoping to be celebrating tonight, but this team isn't going to panic. They know they have to get back to work, and the champions, of course, are still alive.
Yeah, and no doubt the last win you need is the hardest one to get. You talk about the poise, the stoicism that they've exhibited all throughout this series, but talk to me a little bit more about what they really need to bring to Oakland on Thursday to turn things around.
I mean, going into Oakland, I think every fan, every commentator, every pundit was saying if the Raptors can go into Oracle Arena and get a split, win 1 game on the road, things would be good. Well, the Raptors went in there. They were dominant, Andrew. In the 3rd and 4th quarters of both games 3 and 4, the Raptors just ran away with the game. They seemed unshakable in that hostile territory. I was there. The fans were stunned. They didn't know what was happening to their mighty Warriors. This team, the Golden State Warriors, back-to-back defending champions. They're not going to go quietly. They're not going away. And, it's interesting because Steve Kerr, the Warriors head coach, prior to tonight's game, he said, all you need in a series like this is a spark. You just need something to make you believe. Well, they got that spark. So in these series, the momentum swings back and forth. Of course, the Raptors had all the momentum going into tonight's game. Now the Warriors have all the momentum. So the Raptors are going to feel the pressure, no doubt. But like I said, this has been a team throughout the entire season, throughout the entire playoff run, that has been told they're probably not good enough to win. Going into this season, nobody had this team winning this series, and then they're up 3-1. It's going to be a long, long road from here on out for the Raptors. All they have to do is win 1 more game. You've got a shot in Oakland. If you don't get that one, right back here at Scotiabank Arena, there's a lot more basketball to be played.
Right, except, Devin, one more thing. I mean, you talk about the Warriors not going quietly into the night. Kevin Durant, right? He started this game coming off an injury. Another, sort of aggravated the injury just before halftime. He was out for the rest of the game. Should we expect to see him in Game 6?
I mean, this is going to be something we're going to be talking about until tip-off Thursday night. Is Kevin Durant going to return? that was, the dominating question. I don't think we're going to see him back in this series away. He hobbled off this court, of course, in crutches out of the arena. Of course, we're going to be talking about it ad nauseum until tip-off, Andrew. We'll pay attention to that. But these Warriors, they have a spark. They won without Durant. They believe again. Now over to you, Toronto Raptors.
Well, they can certainly win without Durant. They've proved that much. Devin Haru, courtside, Scotiabank Arena. Thanks so much. Good to talk to you. Okay, Asha Tomlinson standing by right now in Jurassic Park West in Mississauga, where fans are digesting the defeat, but far from defeated.
It is a sad scene here at Jurassic Park West. All the fans have cleared out. There was a lot of disappointment in the air, a lot of emotions, people very sad, but there are a few fans still lingering here, still have a little bit of hope for the Toronto Raptors, like Syed Ali. Can you take me through what you were feeling in those last seconds and just the fact that Toronto Raptors couldn't close it out?
I mean, like, the emotions were running high, we all thought 6 points up, we're going in, we're leaving with the championship, the city's gonna go wild. And you know what, we're all heartbroken here, but at the end of the day, this is our team since day one. From the days of, Carter to Mo Pete to now we have DeRozan, Kawhi. We're here for this team, whether it's Brooklyn Game 7 when we lost, to Milwaukee, to Philly Game 7, and now we're playing the Warriors. Raptors are taking this in 6 games, and honestly, best team in the world, best country in the world. We're always supporting the North because we the North, baby. Check it out. We the North, baby! We the North! Let's go, baby! We the North! We the North! We the North! We the North! We the North!
It doesn't matter that they lost this Game 5. There are still 2 more chances to clinch an NBA title. You can see that these fans here, they still have hope. They're keeping hope alive. So Game 6 goes Thursday. Asha Tomlinson, CBC News, Mississauga.
If that's not resilience, I don't know what is. Now let's go west, a lot further west. Bonnie Allen had the chance to watch the game with Raptors fans in Regina.
Thousands of Raptors fans are streaming out of Mosaic Stadium, where they packed in there tonight to cheer for the Raptors. Now, normally this is where the Saskatchewan Roughriders play, but certainly tonight it was Jurassic Park. Thousands of people were in there. And what was it like for you to be in there with so many Raptors fans?
It was hectic, it was crazy. I wish they won though, I'm so disappointed.
Disappointed.
Yeah, what do you mean it was awesome?
It was great. Everyone was loud, had a good time.
Were you surprised that there were so many Raptors fans?
I'm surprised. There was a lot of people here tonight. There's a lot. I was surprised.
What was the feeling like amongst people?
It was like we're actually there, like in Toronto.
Until the end.
Yeah. Until the end.
Felt like one big family.
One big family. That's a nice way to put it. Now let's describe the final few seconds. What was it like?
That was devastating, man.
We were up.
But
we're coming back. Hey, we're coming back.
Okay, let's push out. Let's see the big cheer, guys. Let's see the cheer. What's going to happen in Game 6?
Hey, we're going to get it. Hey,
Raptors in 6, okay?
Raptors in 6. Okay, as you can see, Regina fans, apparently pretty big Raptors fans. All right, and they're taking it in Game 6.
Let's go, baby. Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, so let's look ahead to Game 6, shall we? The Raptors will again be counting on Kawhi Leonard, and you just can't overstate what a critically important, explosive force he's been for this historic Raptors run. But he's also a hot prospect for other teams. This summer, Leonard can leave Toronto and become a free agent. So, again, we want to show you our Kim Brunhuber's visit to Leonard's other fan base in his hometown near LA to find out where his loyalties may really lie.
The first day of basketball summer camp at Martin Luther King High School in Riverside, about 90 kilometers east of Los Angeles. Of course there's talent here, but the next Kawhi Leonard,
Oh my God!
well, that's a long shot.
Yes. Ready? Go.
Jeff Dietz knows coaching an athlete like that only happens once in a lifetime.
I just feel real lucky to be just part of it.
When Leonard first arrived here, Dietz couldn't have guessed his new student would one day become one of the top 5 players in the NBA. But he knew Leonard would be a special player because his position on the court was all of them.
When you put a kid on a high school basketball court that can score from all 5 positions, who can defend all 5 positions. That, as a coach, you kind of just need to get out of the way.
Pass out, pass out, pass out, yeah.
Kenneth Clayton's brother played on this court with Leonard and told him all about his teammates' legendary work ethic, a lesson that transcends basketball.
For me, that's saying that from anywhere and any place, anyone can get better.
Now, with Leonard leading the Raptors to the NBA Finals, everyone here is cheering for a team based in another country against a team from their own state.
We want him to know that the second biggest fan base of the Toronto Raptors are in Riverside.
But for how much longer? Riverside sports columnist Jim Alexander has followed Leonard since high school. With Leonard set to become a free agent this summer, Southern Californians are hoping he will eventually join this pantheon of basketball heroes here at the Staples Center by signing with the Lakers or the Clippers. Do you think he'll end up playing in the stadium behind you?
Coming back home to Southern California, that's a powerful lure. But you get back home and then all of a sudden you have all your friends bugging you for tickets and whatnot. So I don't know. But if I were to guess, my hunch is that he will stay in Toronto.
And believe it or not, Maurice Jones would be fine with that. Of course, he'd love to see his idol play in LA, but he thinks Leonard should stay in Toronto.
Might as well just stay there.
That's very unselfish of you.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always nice to come home, but like if you're winning titles at a place and building a new legacy over there, might as well just stay over there where people love you.
Kawhi on 3.
Kawhi Leonard.
Ready? Kawhi on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Kawhi!
Kim Brunhuber, CBC News, Riverside, California.
Okay, and is there any question what tonight's moment might be about? We'll be back with that just a little later from outside Jurassic Park.
First, so Andrew will be back with more news, including this.
There, we just detected a drone, and it's really close by.
A look at how Corrections Canada is hoping to stop people from using drones to sneak contraband into prisons. That's right after the break. We're continuing live on the Pacific edition of The National. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer weighed in today on the term genocide from the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls Inquiry.
That every single life lost is a tragedy. I think that the tragedy involved with missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls is its own thing. It is its own tragedy. It does not fall into that category of genocide.
The final report was released last week, and the inquiry's commissioners concluded that the treatment of Indigenous women and girls constitutes a genocide. Today on CBC Radio, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he believes cultural genocide would be a more appropriate term. Whales and dolphins can no longer be held in captivity in Canada. A bill outlawing the practice was passed in the House of Commons today, aimed at marine land in Niagara Falls and the Vancouver Aquarium. The aquarium has only one dolphin left, but Marineland has more than 50 beluga whales in its facility. And the Raptors aren't the only sports story we're watching tonight. Canada had a win in the opening game of the FIFA Women's World Cup in France. The team scoring in the final minute of the first half to take a 1-0 win over Cameroon. Canada faces New Zealand next on Saturday. Corrections Canada is facing a growing threat from drones. They're being used to smuggle goods inside prison walls, so Ottawa is spending millions of dollars on equipment that's supposed to catch them in the act. But as David Thurton tells us, there are concerns technology won't keep up.
Peter Jones builds portable gear that identifies drones.
There, we just detected a drone, and it's really close by. Look at the little circle in the center.
Corrections Canada hopes to use similar technology to stop drones from sneaking contraband into prisons. Its pilot project will start next year and finish by 2023.
So there's been instances where we've actually recovered the device where for some reason it failed.
Since 2015, drone sightings have increased at penitentiaries. The unmanned aerial vehicles drop cell phones, drugs, and other illicit substances.
No matter what the good guys do, the bad guys will figure out some way to get past it, and the cat and mouse game will continue.
The concern is that more lethal substances could be on the way. Last year, a drone armed with explosives detonated at a rally Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro attended. In fact, the union says the future threat is weaponized drones.
There's also the potential these drones, the technology is increasing, that payloads can be even greater and weapons could be introduced inside of institutions.
Corrections Canada is confident that it will be able to detect the presence of drones in and near its facilities. But stopping the drones before they drop off their contraband, well, that raises safety concerns.
I'm not sure where the drone's going to fall, and that's a concern to me. It's okay if it, to the sense, if it falls on our grounds, but if it falls outside and hurts somebody, it's not something we want to get into.
For now, the focus is detection, but knowing that determined people will try to find a way around that, Corrections Canada's strategy will need to keep evolving in order to keep up. David Thurton, CBC News, Ottawa.
The Moment is up next on The National. Tonight, it's a moment for and from the fans, from Scotiabank Arena to Jurassic Park to homes across the country. But first, in case you missed it, the actor best known for portraying TV tough guy Jack Bauer started a Twitter war with the Ontario government.
So help me God, I will kill you, and you will stay dead this time.
I got into politics to help people.
It started like this. After an ambitious year of cost-saving measures and cutbacks, Doug Ford's government has taken to comparing itself to legendary former Saskatchewan Premier Tommy Douglas, considered the father of Canadian universal health care. He's also Kiefer Sutherland's grandfather. Kiefer's mom is actress Shirley Douglas. Sutherland said he found the comparison offensive, adding, "I knew Tommy Douglas and you, sir, are no Tommy Douglas. P.S. You're lucky my mom's not active on Twitter." An Ontario minister's response, he's just an actor. But on Twitter, pop culture is power.
Don't expect me to regret the decisions that I have made.
If you think tackling Ontario's deficit is hard,
because, sir, the truth is, I don't.
Try going up against an action star, defending his family's legacy.
Well, maybe they didn't pull out a win, but the war is not over for Raps fans, not by a long shot. If we could, let's rewind back to the beginning of the game and to a poignant moment when it came to singing the national anthem tonight for Game 5. You might say it was a team effort, and boy, oh boy, did the fans deliver. From living rooms to restaurants to Jurassic Parks across the country, fans sang loud and proud, and their anthem is our moment. So Ian, I'll state the obvious. This was not the outcome that Raps fans wanted tonight. Triumph right there for the taking, just slipping from their hands. A one-point game, I can hardly believe it. Here's one thing I'll point out though. Just off in the distance, I can see a small brass band, about 5 or 6 people playing, belting out the tunes. I heard Beyonce just a moment ago. And, while most of the people, they are heading home, they said, tonight's enough is enough. I'm done. We'll wait for Game 6. There is a nice-sized crowd there looking to dance, looking for hope, and knowing that hope is still alive. There is a Game 6 coming their way down the pipe, and the hope of making history for this team still there.
If somebody had said 3 months ago, even 1 month ago, that the Toronto Raptors would be up on the Golden State Warriors in the finals of the NBA championship, 3-2, people would have said, that's a dream. It's not possible. Well, even with the loss, obviously, that's where they are now. It was a fantastic game with a disappointing finish, and they have another chance, 2 more, but let's just say for now, 1 more chance to win the championship that had people right across the country on the edge of their seats or standing up behind you at Jurassic Park. That is the National for June 10th. What a day it's been. Good night.
Good night.